Okay, so again, this is continuation. So 11 and 12 are factoring perfect trinomials. Trinomial means how many terms? 3, okay? So the formula for your trinomials is this. Okay, we talked about this last time we took notes. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. When you guys factor it out, because it's a perfect trinomial, that means your two factors will be exactly the same. So we check for it by figuring out what a and b are. To get a and b, we try to find the square root of this first piece. Can I take a square root of 81x squared? What would that be? 9 what? 9x, good. Can I take a square root of 1? Yes, what would that be? 1, right? Square root of 1 is always 1. So I know that this is 1. In the middle, guys, is where I want to check. Question mark, okay? Your middle term is positive 18x. Yes or no? Okay, so we want to check, is 18x equals, question mark. This one says 2 times blank times blank. What do we fill in those two blank spaces? 9x and 1. True or false? True. It is true. So since it is true, you can write your factors using two set of quantities, or you can write it one quantity square. What goes in our two factors? What do we start? 9x, because this question has an addition of 18x. Can you guys see the sign right here? So is it going to be plus or minus? Plus. Plus what? 1 for both. They are identical. If you don't feel like writing it twice, can I just write it once and then square it? Yep, either one will be totally okay.
What does one? Why? How did you count? Why did you skip over 18? Like you said like it has an addition of 18 and then said 1. Like, what was that decision?
No. We remember the formula says if it's a perfect trinomial, and how we check for perfect trinomials would be this. Is the first one, can we take a square root? Okay. Can we take a square root of the last? So that's how we come up with 9x and then 1. But the middle, can you see the middle says 2 times a times b? Your middle term is what? What's your middle term? 18x. We have to check to see if it's true. If it's not true, then we can't use this formula. Okay? So your middle term is 18x. True or false equals 2, which is this number 2 bringing it straight down. Your a value is now, what's your a value? 9x. Your b value is now 1. So is it a true statement?
Yes.
Yes. If it's yes, then your factors will just be 9x plus 1 quantity squared based on your formula. Or you can write it out how many times? Twice. Did I answer your question? Let's try one more time on 12. Let's check to see if it's perfect trinomial. Mariana, can I take a square root of a squared? Yeah. What do you get? A, perfect. Square root of a squared would definitely be a. Can I take a square root of 169b squared? What is that? 13b. Now we have to check, right? What's your middle term? 26a? AB. Now that minus sign right there in front of 26ab determines what? The negative or positive inside the factors, okay? So here we go. True or false? 26ab question mark 2 times what times what? A and 13b. True or false? Yes. So if it's yes, you can straight up write your answer as quantity square, or you can write it twice. Okay. How do we write our answer? A. How do we know it's minus or plus in here? What symbol? this guy right here, right? So this determines plus or minus in here. So A minus what? 13b quantity square. Or you can choose to write it out 2 times if that's what you like. Okay. I will accept either format. Now, whenever you guys are factoring and you're not sure if your answers are right, how would you check to make sure? What do you do to check your answers? What do we do to check our answer? What do we do to make sure our factors are correct? What's the opposite of factoring? Not solving, but foiling, multiplying back, okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. This one says factoring. It's frozen on me, like always. There you go. This one says difference of 2 squares. Again, difference of 2 squares means how many terms? 2 terms. The word difference means subtract or add? Subtract. Okay. So first, we want to check to see if there's a subtraction in the middle. Is it a subtraction in the middle? Yes, there is a subtraction in the middle. So the difference word is okay. Do you have 2 terms or 3 terms? 2 terms. And squares means, can I take the square root of 36x squared? 6 what? 6x. Can I take a square root of 49? What is it? 7. If you said yes to all 3, okay, the 3's are minus sign in the middle, okay, checked. Minus sign in the middle is checked. Then you can take a square root of the first and square root of the last. All of them are yes. Then what's the final answer based on your formula here? How many sets of quantity should we make? 2 sets of quantity. One quantity has a plus sign and one quantity has a minus sign. Okay, what goes in both of our quantities? 6x plus 7 times 6x what? Minus 7. Okay. All right, let's try the next one. Is there a minus sign? Yes, check. Can I take a square root of my first term, which is what? What's square root of 25? 5. What's square root of m to the 6? Oh, m to the 3rd. Very good. Can I take a square root of my last? What's square root of 64? 8. So you said yes to all 3. Would you be able to factor this? Yep, make 2 quantities. One will have a plus and one will have a minus. What goes in both of those? What goes first? 5m to the 3rd plus 8 times 5m to the 3rd, what? Minus 8. Okay, you try the last one for me. And then we have just the difference of 2 cubes and we're done. Difference in sum, I should say. So try out the 15, and then I'm just going to ask you guys to give me your final answer. Is it factorable, guys? Yeah, okay. Is there a minus sign in the middle? Yes. Can you take the square root of the first? Yes. Last? Yes. Perfect. All right. Sophia C., you and your team, go ahead and get ready to give me the final answer, hon. Do you guys agree, Sophia and her team? Yeah. Perfect. All right, let's move on. Last two types of factoring. And then after this, you guys have mastered all different kinds. Raise your hand if you have heard of the sum of difference of two cubes. Raise your hand if you've heard the sum of difference of two cubes. Just a few hands? Okay. All right, here are the formulas of how to factor out the difference of two cubes. To factor out the difference of two cubes, first, obviously, you would need to start with the difference of two cubes. Difference means what? Add or subtract? Subtract. Cube means what, guys? Do we do square root anymore? No, right? It's cube to the power of 3. So we have to check. Then if it's true, then this is the formula for the difference of two cubes. You also have another formula for the sum of two cubes. They are very similar. And many of you will get these two mixed up. So we are going to come up with a way to help you differentiate between these two. What's the only difference between the sum of difference two cubes formula?
One is positive AB and the other one is negative AB.
Yep, okay. So if you have A cubed minus B cubed, the first factor, minus or plus? Minus. This one is plus, and this one is plus. If you have A cubed plus B cubed, the first factor is plus. But this is then minus. So what's happened to these two signs always? What happened to these two signs always? They are opposite each other. They switch. Okay. Raise your hand if you have heard the word soap before in factoring some of the two cubes. You've heard of it? Okay, soap. Okay. So some of you who have heard of it, this is what it means. S, O, A, and P. If you have heard of it, what was S? S was not always subtraction, because this is, it's the same sign, okay? S is same sign. So if you started with a subtraction, your first sign in the factor is subtraction. If you started with an addition, your first sign in the factor is addition. What do you think OA is? Or O or A and P? What's O? What's the next sign? Opposite. You're right. So this helps you. Okay, opposite. And AP, what's the last sign always in the formula? Always what? Addition. Always a P. You're right, always addition, but what do you think P is? Positive. Always positive. This helps you with knowing your formula. Okay. All right, now that and do you have to know these formula for your quiz and test? Yes, it's not going to be given to us, so we have to know it, okay? Factor out w to the third minus 8y to the third. We have to break it down to something to the third, always. Take away something to the third. What goes in my first blank? What to the third equals the same as w to the third? W. What to the third equals the same as 8y to the third? 2 what? Y. Okay. I'm rewriting it so you can see which is A and which is B. So would you agree that this right here is A? And this whole thing right here is B. All right. So the formula says always, so same sign, opposite, and always positive. So first quantity and then the trinomial. What goes in our first smaller quantity? What goes in our first smaller quantity? A minus B. What's A? W. What's B? 2y. That's your A minus B. Beautiful. Then it goes on and said, okay, times the quantity of A squared. What's A again, Kenzie? Oh, Kenzie's not here. Elena's not here. Sophia H is not here. Oh my goodness. The whole stack. Okay. Slater, what is A? W. So it says A squared, so W squared. Okay. Plus A times B. So again, A is W, but what's B? 2y. We're going to multiply that out, but right now I'm just going to write it all out for us. Plus b squared. Yeah. So 2y squared, and close that up. I'm writing it all out, and then now we are going to make it pretty. So our final answers, the factors are w minus what? 2y. Close it up. W squared. W times 2y is the same thing as writing 2. Do you guys want to write the y in front of w or w in front of the y? 2yw, sure. Plus, what's 2y quantity square? 4y square. And that's what we should get all the time for this question. Uh-huh. Because it's 2y squared, Talia. So 2y squared means I have 2 of those. So 2y times 2y would be 4y squared. Because then from here, we put the numbers together and the variables together. So 2 times 2 would be 4, and y times y would be now y squared because 2 of those. Good question. Okay. All right, last question of today's notes. 27a to the third plus 64. Does it look like it may be the sum of 2 cubes? Okay, so we have to first decide. 27a to the third plus 64. Is it possible to rewrite it as something to the third plus something to the third? Okay, 27, a to the third. What is it to the third? Will give me identical values later. 3a. Thank you. Do you guys agree with Slater? Yeah. How about 64? Something to the third equals to 64. What is it? 4. Okay. So would you agree this whole thing right here, 3a, is now just your a based on the formula? And what's your b? 4. Yep. Okay. So the formula says something binomial times a trinomial. All right. Tell me what to write in the binomial factor. 3a. What is? Plus 4. You're right, because it's the same sign as your original. Okay. This is where I'm going to write all the steps out. The formula follows something square. What is this something square? What goes in here? 3a squared. We will simplify that out in just a little bit. What sign goes after? Minus. Okay. Minus what? A times b. Your a is 3a, and what's your b value? 4. Again, we will simplify that, but right now we're just going to write out all the steps for us. And then this one said b squared. B happened to be 4. Okay. All right, let's make it pretty. 3a plus 4. We can't really simplify that, but I can definitely simplify 3a squared. What's 3a squared? 3a squared is 9. 9a squared. Okay, so that's going to be 9a squared. 9a squared. What's 4 times a? Negative 12a. And what's 4 squared? 16. And that concludes our notes today.